So before we do anything, make sure the machine's turned off. And I always like to pull the power cable out. So there's definitely no power going to the machine. So the back cover's easy to take off, just 5 screws. One there, one there, one there, one there, one there, one in each hole. So we'll do that. So just 5 Phillips head screws. One there, one there, one there, and one there. And then the back cover will just lift off. Okay, so this is the motor for fold plate 1, which is in top there, but we've taken it out. And what this does, this drives the automatic fold plate up and down. So this is what we're replacing, and you can see it's sprung loaded, so it does move. It is meant to move like that. So first things first, unscrew the cable holder here and unplug the connector and just push the wires through the clip so they're loose like that. Next thing is to cut the cable clip here, so obviously be careful not to snip any of the cables, because that wouldn't be good. And then what we can do is we can pull out the 2 sensor connectors there, so they're free. And then it's just 2 screws, so one there, one large one there. And you'll see that the screws, so they're on this mount. You can't quite see there. You can see it's on like a mount, so it fits in the hole, and that allows it to pivot like that. And the same with the smaller one, is exactly the same. So exactly the same. You can see it's on a mount that fits in the hole. You can sort of see it. There you go. So you can see it's on a mount, and that allows it to pivot in that slot there. So once we've undone those, there is a spring up here, so just pull the spring off the top part, and then the whole unit comes out as one like that. So take your spring off, and then obviously get your new one. And what we've done is we've ordered it as a complete assembly, because that's the easiest way to replace it, rather than trying to get just the motor off the worm screw. So what you'll have is it'll have the sensors in it as well, so easiest way to replace it. So put your existing spring in there like that, and then it's probably easier to plug your sensors back in while you've got it in your hand like that, because they are very small plugs and the pins are very small, so they are quite easy to damage, because this back one, which is yellow, blue and grey, and the other one is obviously yellow, blue and purple, so the yellow, blue and grey one is at the back, and that can be quite tricky to get in. So if we carefully plug them in now, so 1, 2, make sure they're in like that. Okay, and again, it's probably easier now to hook your spring on while the unit's in your hand rather than fixed to the machine. So hook that on, and you'll see on the hook, on the hook for the spring, there are a couple of slots, but it goes on the slot nearest to the machine, and then your gear goes through the hole, and then you put the larger screw in first. So what you want to make sure when you're putting the screw in is that when you tighten it up, it should still pivot. Then you put the second smaller one in. So if you tighten up the smaller one, it should pivot like that. If it's not pivoting, like, so if it doesn't pivot like that, you've put one of the two screws in wrong, so that collar isn't sat inside the hole. Because even if you do it up tight, it should lever. Sometimes the easiest way to do it is to pull the mount away from the machine, so you know that the hole's engaged in it. So just do them two up fairly tight, don't have to be majorly tight, and it's sprung loaded obviously with the spring there, so it should pivot like that. Then it's just a case of refit your plug, like so. It only goes in one way. Put your cable back in the cable tidy. And then screw your cable tidy down. So it's all neat and tidy, like that. Get another cable tie, just so these cables don't get caught in anything. Like so. Get that bit off, and that's it. That's the fold motor replaced. So once the fold motor has been replaced, what we can do is I've put the fold plate back in, and then what we can do is we can plug the power cable back in, turn the machine on, and you'll see it initiate itself. And that's just the machine zeroing the fold plate. So, and then you shouldn't have any errors on your screen.